Let's go over some characteristic traits of a secure man. Hi, my name is Dr. Natalie Jones. I'm a licensed therapist. I've been counseling men and women who have experienced abuse as well as those who have been perpetrators of abuse and violent crimes. I wanted to do a little bit of a late night TikTok for you all. I had a little bit of time before I turn in for the night, and I wanted to answer or respond to this woman's request to talk about signs of a secure man. And I wrote a list down so I wouldn't like fumble and stumble as much. But, you know, and I'm glad you asked that because I talk a lot about unhealthy behavior. So it's good to have a mix of healthy and unhealthy, right? So that you guys can be on the lookout for what to look for if you want to be friends with or have partnership with a secure man. So for me, you know, a secure man is kind, right? So he is very kind. He is very generous. And it's not just kind to you, but he's kind towards people in general. Number two, he knows what he wants. He's disciplined enough to go after it. So he walks in his purpose. He has ambition. He has goals. Just like, you know, secure people, they have goals, right? And so, you know, and so they plan and then they go after what it is that they want. You know, family and relationships are taken seriously. I cannot emphasize this enough. So what I mean by that is this: a man is going to prioritize his relationships with his family. He's not going to let anybody come. A secure man is not going to let anybody come and disrespect that or jeopardize, you know, what he has with his family. And so, so his mama can't come and disrespect his wife, right? And vice versa, right? So he's going to prioritize. You're not going to have to worry about, you know, some random woman, or if you're another man who's into dating secure men, you're not going to have to worry about someone, you know, running up, calling his phone late at night. I'm sleeping with your man. You know, you're not going to have to worry about that kind of silly stuff, right? Because he is going to make sure that you feel secure with him in a relationship. Now, if you've got your own stuff, right, your own insecurities, and you need to work that out, that's a different story. But if you're a secure person, and you know, you generally don't have trust issues and things like that. But if you got trust issues, then you need to go to therapy and work that out. But if you're two secure people together, he is going to, you know, he's going to communicate effectively, right? He's going to make sure that you know what his intentions are. So if his intentions are to pursue you, to court you, you know, you're not going to be asking these questions. What are we? You know, we've been doing this for 10 years. What are we? You know, you're not going to be doing that kind of stuff. He's going to make his intentions known, like, I want you to be my wife, or, you know, I want you to be my husband, or whatever, right? So he's going to make his intentions known. He's going to be goal oriented. He's going to be passionate. And as such, he's going to be serious about his intentions. He's also going to have the same expectations for you. So if he's serious, he wants you to be serious about it too. So, you know, if you have games, if you play games and you do all this other kind of stuff, you cheat, you do all that, then he's going to let you know, hey, I'm not with that. You know, either you're in this or you're not. And if I see you're playing games, then we're done, right? And so he's going to have some same expectations for you on your behavior. He's also going to call you out on your behavior, right? And so if there's something about you that he sees that is concerning, or he feels like, hey, you need to handle that or take better care of that, he will call that out, and not in a way that's malicious or hurtful, but in a way that's out of care and concern. And the same thing for him. He's also able to take feedback and accountability for his actions and handle that, right? It's not going to be something where you have to, like, you know, be pulling him into therapy, be, you know, doing all of these kinds of things where he's so resistant and he'll shut down and communicate. No, he's going to communicate, and he's going to make an intentional effort about working on that stuff. So because you guys aren't going to be talking about the same problems over and over again for years and years and years. So again, he walks in his purpose. He seeks mentorship. He gives mentorship. And I think that's important. That's another aspect of accountability, but also community. He has hobbies. He has interest. And let's see here. He wants to show up. I think, a secure man, he wants to show up and he wants to simplify your life and he wants to help you with solving your problems because, again, he's invested in you. When you're in a relationship, right, and he's being serious and he's making his intentions known, he wants to help you simplify your life. He wants to make you a part of his life. And again, you're not going to have any questions about that. And again, if I didn't make it clear, he's willing to invest the time and invest in the relationship. So he's going to do the work. He's all in, and he understands that their relationships do ebb and flow. But if he's invested, he's here to do the work. Health and fitness are important and something that he takes seriously, not just for himself, but also for you. So health could also be diet. It could be exercise. But also mental health. So if you're not okay, he's concerned about that, right? And if he's not okay, if you guys are gonna reciprocate and you guys are gonna check in on each other. But he's also going to want to stay on top of his, on top of his mental health and make sure that everyone that's with him and around him is doing okay. So this is the type of person that will check in and, make sure you got home safe and make sure you're feeling okay after a specific incident. Things like that. Apologize when they're wrong without seeking an ulterior motive. And again, take that, take that accountability and want to have those kind of conversations. So there is an emotional intimacy, an emotional intelligence there. There is a vulnerability there where he's able to sort of tap in and have conversations. And it doesn't have to be, it's not necessarily like, if you're talking to one of your girlfriends, but it is a way of opening up, sharing, and deepening the relationship. It's allowing you in, allowing you into his heart space, into his mental space, showing you who he is, flaws and all. If they have children, they take care of their children. They have good relationships with their children. They have good relationships with their child's mother. Now, on the off chance he doesn't have a good relationship with his children, like let's say one of his children has struggled with addiction or something else that was beyond his control, then he has done the mental work. He has gone to therapy. He's talked about it with a professional. He's done the mental work around that relationship. This isn't someone who just discarded his children and said, oh, well, they're a loser. This isn't one of those types of things. This is someone who is genuinely rolled up his sleeves and done numerous things to try to help their child with no avail, right? And same thing with his child's mother. So they take co-parenting seriously. They're there for their kids. They have a relationship and they want to be a parent to their children. They don't want to just pawn their children off to somebody else. They don't want to just talk to their children when it's convenient for them or when they have a woman that wants a family. So suddenly now he's a family man. No, this is a person that is a staple in their children's life. They are a role model for their children and would move heaven and earth for their kids. And they expect you to, you guys to be a united front. If you become a couple, if you become married, they expect you to also be a part of that family. And so they're going to want you to connect with their children. That is going to be very, very important to them. And they're not going to they're not going to go against their children for the sake of a relationship. So I hope that helps. It's not comprehensive, but that's a list to get you started. Thanks so much for asking that. I appreciate this question or this request. You guys take care. Like, comment, follow, and share.